So, firstly, you've got a new single out. It's called Hallelujah So Low. Tell us a bit about it.
Well, it's a funny song because it on the face of it, it's kind of a pretty straightforward rock song with a gigantic riff down the middle of it. It's probably the biggest sounding, sonically biggest and roughest and most forceful song we've ever done. And even though it didn't come into play that way, I think it's been sort of quite widely reported now. After we went for a trip with Oxfam to see some refugee camps in Greece, he sort of wrote the lyrics for this song, and it sort of was born out of that. So I don't necessarily think in his head he thought it would go down this route, but it just lent itself to it. The rhythm that he came up with on his guitar, we just instantly thought it needed something really powerful, and actually linking it back in with like the lyrical content, suffering and guilt and remorse and all those different feelings. It kind of works with the sort of angular angriness of it all. Yeah, excellent. And you've got a new video out for it as well. Yeah, so we've done another video of our sort of fairly long-term collaborator now, Rahi Rezvani, who's himself a refugee. Actually, he's an Iranian artist who was sort of outcast from his country, and he lives now in Northern Europe, and he lives near to Amsterdam, and we share this affinity now. We've built up this incredibly special bond in a way that we've never done with an artist or a photographer. Certainly, we've always flitted about between video directors and photographers on all the records, and we've never really felt that comfortable with a relationship that we've built with any of them. But this one, it just seems so important to us as a band now, and it seems like he feeds off us and we feed off his visual kind of expression of what we're like as well, and it kind of it's created sort of something a bit bigger than maybe we would have been without him. So it's really interesting to work with somebody like that, somebody who we definitely draw inspiration from him, and we feel like I don't know, it's quite a symbiotic relationship, really. Yeah. So the single's coming off your up-and-coming album. It's out next week. It's called Violence. Yeah, Tell us a bit about it. It is, isn't it? Next week. It is, yeah. It's called Violence, which is, as the title goes, it's fairly full on. It's kind of it kind of relates a little bit to the sort of certain sounds and brutality of the sounds that we've sort of captured on the record at times, and but it also sort of, I don't know, it's a little bit of a social comment on how we can be so wrapped up in our own world, and we can not even not even be worried about what's going on around us, and everything can be so full on, and it's got several meanings to it, really. We worked on it for about a year, pretty much to the day, after finishing our sort of festival run in 2016, and we sort of finished it off the end of last summer. And I think as a piece, it's like we've sort of flitted between sort of electronic and organic music over the last few records. The Weight of Your Love was definitely a reaction to what came before it, and our split up with Chris, and then so that was more sort of rock band, band in a room kind of feel. And the last record was almost entirely synthetic, a reaction to what we probably did before. This one, we just needed to get something balanced between the two, something that really appealed to our electronic music, our love for electronic music, and getting some that sort of ferocity. That's not even a word. Ferocious. Ferocious feel between drum machines and keyboards, but then to sort of get the band involved as well, so get that human element to it. So I think we've merged it really well on this record, and people have responded great to it so far. We've had 2 tracks out that lots of people have heard, and people seem to realise that we've sort of struck that balance.
Mm-hmm. And on the back of that, you're doing a couple of shows in the UK, starting on Sunday with your hometown show.
Yeah. There are 3 shows that we've never been into the venues before even. So to find somewhere in the UK after touring so many times here and going to all of these cities on numerous occasions and playing shows that we haven't actually played a show at is kind of special. And they're not big shows. They're not tiny by any means, but they are going to feel fairly intimate for what we're used to. And I think it's a great way of us just to present the record to the UK, which I think we've sort of fallen out of touch with a little bit, even though our career hasn't stopped, even though we've been playing big shows sort of on the continent even more so than before. We felt like it was a good way to launch a new record. Say, look, we're still a UK band. We still care about the people, our fans here, and we still care about getting our music out to as many people as possible in this country. It's going to be great. I mean, we're all ready to go. We've been rehearsing for the last month and a half, and we're all, those last few run-throughs at rehearsal, you're just like, okay, we can do it. We just need to get out now and actually perform. And we're all, every artist will say it. They want you to hear your new material, and but I feel like I think we'll keep on coming back to the word balance, but the set that we put together with songs from each of our 6 records, it's kind of, it really works at the moment for me.
Yeah, you got a nice back catalogue.
We're in a really great position that we can pull a lot of stuff out of a lot of records, and we have. It is a real privilege to play them sometimes. So even songs that you think we'd have totally lost our vibe for, things like Munich, which has been ever present in our set since we started being in a band. I don't think we'll ever play a show without it. It's difficult to feel that we'll get to that point. It's still such an important song to a lot of people and to us. We're not just going to sack it off.
Yeah. So once you've released the album next week, you are then off on an extensive list of tour dates.
Yeah.
Across Europe, US. There's a load of dates.
There's a lot, and we'll be getting some sort of in for later in the year in the UK for a proper tour as well. And we're a live band. We've always considered ourselves as the best way to sort of get our new material across to people and show people what we're about. I mean, I like to feel that people get a really interesting experience at our gigs. And we've always done it. We've always respected bands that go out and play a lot of shows to a lot of people. People like the REMs back in the day when they were still going. They gave us a lot of advice and a lot of inspiration to go and work and graft in the way that you kind of got to. It's going to be a long one. I'm especially looking forward to going back to America because we've not been there for nearly 10 years now, which I think we were just so disrupted with everything. We were supposed to go and tour there a couple of years ago, but Tom fell ill, so we couldn't manage to get out there as well. So it's a long time coming, that tour. I can't wait.
Should be good. And you've got quite a few festival dates announced so far. There's a couple here in the UK, including British Summertime.
Yep, they are building up. That British Summertime gig is the Cure show, which we were sort of asked personally by them to do it, and it's unreal the response we've had to it. Everything's been positive. All our friends want tickets, and which is impossible for us to give, but everybody's asking about it. Social media comments and stuff. It's all positive, and I think it's going to be a remarkable show. There's some bands that we really respect and admire on there. Not least the Cure, but people like Interpol and Goldfrapp and Slowdive.
Yeah.
Bands that we've grown up with and loved. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty special event. But the festivals they're so numerous nowadays. We can go and play sort of each year at different festivals all over the continent, and there's still ones we haven't even heard of or been to. So yeah, it's the people love going to a festival. I don't blame them. I mean, gig going numbers have sort of gone down fairly recently, but the amount of people going to festival just for like one big sort of blowout weekend, that sort of doesn't necessarily seem to have been dying down.
No, it's going well. Yeah, really good.
Yeah, too right. Yeah, no, we're excited about the year ahead, definitely.
Yeah,
helps to have new material to play to people.
It does, yeah, definitely. So, is there any more festival dates maybe in the pipeline?
Oh, there's loads. I mean, constantly we're getting emails about what's going to go on, whether in the UK or further afield, but no announcements. Sort of, it's never up to us to announce, is it? It's always the festivals who've got to get their lineups ready, and they, Glastonbury don't even announce till goodness only knows when. That's in the year, even after they sold all the tickets. Yeah, exactly. So it changes. It's different with every festival, but it's never our responsibility to do it.
It's been great having a chat with you.
Hey, no worries, man. Good luck.
No problem. Thanks very much.
Glad this thing worked.